All right. What's up, everybody? What's good? Today is March 16, 2026, and this is our first session for the week. We're gonna analyze the two indices together to see what we can have as potential opportunity for today. So let me know in the chat if you can hear me, if you can see my screen. Let me know. All right. So if you were present in our breakdown this morning, or if you watch the breakdown from last night, you probably already have an idea of what I'm waiting for today. So basically, we already went through this imbalance on H4. As you can see, we already went through the 50% of the previous day range on both of the assets. The market shows sign of strength right now. Okay, and then we kind of still respecting this 1 hour imbalance on ES, even though on NQ we already inverted it. So so basically we talked about 3 potential scenarios, but right now I see only 2. Okay, I'm just waiting for ES to invert this imbalance on H1. Okay, and then we're gonna have 2 scenarios on the table. So 2 potential scenarios on the table. All right, the first one, as of right now, the market might probably retrace and come take these targets right here and then move to the upside. This is also the low of London, and to keep going higher. Okay, or since we are showing sign of strength, so we are showing sign of strength right now, the market might potentially keep going higher, and inside of this potential set area, I would pay attention to how the market will behave. Okay, so the first scenario we talked about in the breakdowns is gonna be a little bit hard for me to take it right now, since we already in this respect, there is no reaction at the 50% of the previous day range, and we are currently in the premium, but no sign of weakness. We invert the imbalance on H4 we talked about. We invert the imbalance on H1 we talked about. So I can basically say that we are above the daily open, and then the low of the day, it's kind of strange, but the market might hold it for the low of the day. Okay, the market might hold it until the end of the day. Okay, so we're gonna wait. One of something that I've realized last week, there is something we used to do. I watch my breakdowns from October, I watch my breakdowns from September, I watch my breakdowns from like December, November, from last year, and most of the time we're usually talking about different scenarios. All right, But in my recent breakdown, I usually talk about one scenario. I know why. It's because, well, when you're doing something for years, and then most of the time you probably know what might happen because you're watching the same assets every day, every day, like every hour is the same asset, you know. So we basically did not open the door for flexibility. I don't know if you remember, we had a word right here, we had a watermark right here, be more flexible, and I put it exactly last year, and I don't know why it's not on my screen anymore. Sometimes TradingView is copying anyways, you know. So now we talked about that in the stream we had on Friday with my private students, and that's the only difference. That's the only difference, you know. So it's not the algorithms that's being changed. It's not nothing like that. It was me focusing on only one scenario. And I think it's too much confidence sometimes. Well, I'm always confident, you know that, right? I don't have to say it, you know. But yeah, I rewatched my breakdowns from last year during the weekend, and I've realized this change. All right. So the reason why we used to have like weeks and weeks and weeks, green weeks after green weeks after green weeks, because we always leave the door open for different scenarios. Well, the daily context, we should be open to like for a change, because the context might change, you know. If we had a manipulation above the daily open, we had a manipulation below the daily open, and the market disrespect that manipulation, the context has changed. And we used to do that a lot last year. So drip out, I love the shoot. Thank you. Well, this is something I usually do when, I'm not gonna say tough weeks, but when things are not the way, well, I expected them. The first thing I do is like I went back to what I used to do when everything was going pretty well, because I never want to blame the market. That's one thing about me. Okay, I never want to blame the market, you know. And like I said, I will watch my streams during the weekend. I will watch my streams from October, September. I will watch everything, and I realized I don't wear the suit anymore because I used to wear it. I used to wear the stream, the suit, or the t-shirt, the white shirt, not t-shirt, the white shirt. I don't do it anymore, and I'm like, bro, you gotta bring it back. I've realized that I do my steps more at night than the morning. And then when I used to killing it, I used to do my steps in the morning. This morning I wake up, the first thing I do, I went outside and I already have 8,000. Because in recent weeks and months, I do my steps at night. That's basically, I'm gonna do a video about it. I'm gonna do a video about it when things are not going well, or when things are not going the way you expected it, how to respond to it. It's not blaming the market, and I'm the type of person that will not blame the market. Yes, sometimes I'm gonna make jokes on YM, you know. I'm gonna make jokes on YM and saying YM this, YM that, but deep down, you already know how I think about the market. I don't like to blame the market for anything. So yeah, that's what I did during the weekend. So I spent the entire weekend doing that. I spent the entire weekends doing that. You know, checking everything I used to do when things were doing well, because the change is not in the market. I don't think the change is in the market. Personally, you know, I think the change wasn't in me. So I had to find a change. So wake up this morning early, take my cold shower, do my steps, and drink my coffee. Last week, so many days I started the stream and I told you guys I don't have my coffee. Like I don't have my coffee, and I'm like, bro, come on. Check YM. I'm not gonna check YM because I did not prepare YM. I had no preparation on YM right now. I don't have it on my screen neither. And that's one of the thing. It's one of the thing I've realized too. Like last year, I started to trade YM on September. If you remember, like I spent the whole year not trading YM, and I started to trade it basically on September. We had some great wins. Back to my regular things. I'm not saying you can trade YM. I'm just saying I take the decision to back to my regular stuff. Okay. All right. Okay, so now let me drop to the 15 minutes real quick so I can put some informations such as the New York Stock Exchange open. So as you can see, the first 15 minutes the market moved to the up. Sorry, the market moved to the upside first. Okay. Actually this morning I'm not drinking coffee, I'm drinking chocolate. Soi-disant chocolat haïtien, but it's not the same, bro. They say it's from Haiti, but it's not from Haiti because when I Tigouave Malbon chocolat, even when I go to Tigouave, I know what chocolat, I know like the real taste of chocolate, you know. So we still can't invert this imbalance on H1. So that's what I'm waiting for right now. Okay, that's what I'm waiting for right now. Because as soon as we create like this inversion, I will only have two scenarios in my head, only two. Okay, the first one will be deleted. Okay, so the two scenarios I will have is the retracement too long, okay, or wait for price to come inside of this box right there to short and to attack this downside target we have right there. Okay, and that might be the high of the day basically. And yeah, that's what I'm waiting for right now. That's what I'm waiting for right now. I watched my buy scenario play out yesterday at 20. This book my leader hurt. I was waiting for since Friday. Yeah, bro, it happens, bro. We've been waiting for this move last Friday. It never happens. The market never gave us like the confirmation. We finally got finally have it last night. There is nothing you can do about it, bro. Sometimes it hurts. Not gonna lie. Sometimes it hurts. Okay. Last Friday we were waiting for price to either retrace and go higher, or retrace, create another manipulation and go higher, but the market just make a deep retracement that was too heavy and just let it go, bro. Just let it go. All right. So let's be more serious in the chat, guys. All right, let's Let's be more focused on the chart. There's a 2-hour imbalance above the week. You have marked good additional confirmation if we can get sell model right. Bro, I never used the 2-hour. I don't even remember since I'm trading. I've never used the 2-hour. You said. I don't know. I don't use that time frame. It's not like I have a problem with it. I just don't use it. I never used the 2-hour, but yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. So 24,474.25 on on NQ. They are targets. So let me do something real quick. We're gonna be in June contract, right? Today is last Friday was 13. That was the second Friday of the month. So we probably, I think we should change contract right now. We should have a contract change right now. Well, NQ1 they don't reset it yet, but we should be in the M contract, the contract M, which is the contract of June right now. Okay. Close of 15 minutes above this imbalance. Well, still nice. I'm waiting for 10. Remember, I have 2 scenarios in my head right now. Like I said, since we just keep moving to the upside. So basically, since we keep moving to the upside, the first scenario we talked about in the breakdowns, it just deleted. We got deleted. So now, if we keep moving to the upside and then we come inside of this box, I will wait for a potential scenario to sell. All right. And that's the only thing I can do right now. Wait for price to give me confirmation to short, or wait for price to right now create the retracement. Okay. Since we have a target right there, it will be better. Well, I don't like to trade like that, but based on NQ, based on ES doesn't have the targets, so the market might retrace inside of a concept and imbalance we had on higher time frame to keep dropping, to keep going higher. Okay, this up movement was expected. We talked about it in the breakdowns last night. Okay, so because of this reaction, okay, because of that reaction, well, this reaction does not look the way we like to see them, basically. But we can't ignore it completely neither, you know. That's a note from last week. Let me check the chart real quick. YM, you asked me to check YM. I don't know what YM is doing right now. Actually, we are above the opening of the New York Stock Exchange. Well, the first 15 minutes, we can say that we got rejection both ways, but overall, the market is upside. It's bullish right now. I'm just waiting. We are not forcing any trade. We are not forcing anything. Okay. Last Friday, we stayed. We stayed still. We did not force anything. And well, there is no reason to force neither. Of course, you're gonna find somebody, especially when you don't take trades, you're gonna find somebody that's gonna say, all right, so you could have done this, you could have done that. But in conclusion, like, you should be the one that doing all right. Based on my plan, did I respect everything? I respect everything. If you respect everything, well, there's no reason to be like to be ashamed. And yeah, it's the opening of the New York Stock Exchange right there, 9:30. We got the first 15 minutes. Just like Friday, we have like, well, it's a little bit different, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hours like bullish price action. People that bought this movement, they have their stop loss right there. Okay. That's why we can either wait for price to set the high and drop lower, take the target, or potentially wait for retracement to go higher. If we're gonna take a retracement to go higher, I will definitely trade ES. So now let me check if I have some upside objectives. They might not be very close, but I remember we had these targets right here. I didn't like it. I remember when I was talking about it last week, I said it's not the best one, but we can still consider them. And we have that one too. What will be the proper contract be? What will the proper contract be for NQ micros? Well, first of all, this ensures you have to know them before you starting trading. Okay, you have to know when we're gonna have contract change, what's gonna be the name, what's gonna be the name of the contract, what's gonna be the informations, and all of these things. Okay, and I will suggest you to do your own research on the CME group to know all of these informations, because that's very important. You know, this is the fundamental, this is the basics. I would suggest you to do that. But the contract will be MNQM. Okay, I don't know why we don't have the change yet on NQ1, and I'm gonna stay on with them. Probably the exact date is not, we don't have the exact date yet. What's your take? Liquidity, support, and resistance. I don't use these terminology. I'm not saying they're bad, but I don't really use the word support or resistance or stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not saying they're bad. I just don't use them, you know. Since I created this channel, the only resistance you heard from me, it's low resistance low, low resistance high. And it's because this area, the market shouldn't have resistance to go to dive to this area, you know. That's why we call it like that. But the common support resistance, I don't know, I've never like used them. Probably in the beginning I had some mentors that I used them. When I was a beginner, I was trying to understand stuff, but since 2021, 2022, I'm using the same concepts, the same words, the same terminology, where sometimes I change them, but it's been the same thing. Manipulation, reaction, conviction, divergence, well, imbalance, icy candle, mitigation, inverted, Well, I take some times to use the inversion. Okay, so I didn't want to use it, to be honest, and I had some calls with my trading partners, and I see them using it. I'm like, guys, you're using that? They say, yeah. And we back tested together, we studied it together, and I'm like, okay, I can add it to my arsenal. But my favorite one remains the IC candle and the normal imbalance. Okay, and I just consider inverted in lower time frame. Okay, so 6 minutes before, I'm only asking because MNQ1 has the same price as NNQ1. MNQM has a different price. Yeah, when we have the rollover, the numbers will be different, and you're probably gonna have a gap too. Okay, at the change of the contract. We are waiting. Nothing to do so far. I mean, me. We're gonna have the date on the CME group is March 20, the 20th. The settlement is for March 20th. So NQ1 and ES1 might probably change on the 20th. I prefer to buy right now, too low to sell from my point of view. I'm waiting, bro. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for something like this. Okay. Well, we can hold on ES inside of this imbalance. Okay. To go higher. Okay. Or if price just, if we don't create retracement, let's say at 10, the market does not create retracement, and then we just move to the upside directly, I will pay attention to these highs right here because that's a potential sell area. Okay, that's gonna be a potential sell area to take a short. Okay, after the retracement for sure. Yeah, after the retracement. So the ideas are clear this morning. I just have to wait. The first scenario we talked about in the breakdowns, like I said, it's gonna be a little bit hard for me to take it. We might have some manipulation right here and drop lower, but I was talking about these imbalances on H4 and H1. The market create that inversion. Okay, we had this H4 right there. Okay, we break it. We break the imbalance on H1 where we're gonna have the close, and we break the 50% of the previous daily range. So now in order for me to take a long, I have to wait for retracement, and in order for me to take a short, probably gonna use this potential sell area. Okay, that's what's the thing. That's what I have right now. And of course, like, what I want you to do is what I don't want you to do, guys. Remember, I'm a day trader. I do day trading. That's what I've been doing for years now. And some of you might be swing trader. Some of you might be scalper. And sometimes the ideas might be different. Okay. And it's totally fine. You're waiting. The targets, my main target will be on here on NQ basically, which means if I'm gonna have the sell opportunity, that will be on NQ. Okay. Got some balance on H1, but my main priority is the previous daily high. So the target will be on NQ 24,474.25. These targets right here. So the market just respect this imbalance, okay, during the opening of the session and moving higher. That's fine. If someone get your YouTube subscription, do they learn your strategy? And also, is there a Discord? Well, my YouTube subscription, you're gonna have the breakdowns and the reviews. Okay, you're gonna have the breakdowns and the reviews, but you can learn on my YouTube channel. But if you speak only English, that's gonna be a little bit hard because most of the videos, they are in Creole. And no, when you pay the YouTube membership, you don't have a Discord, unfortunately. Yes, I have a Discord, but that's a separate entity. Then that's a separate entity. So, all right. 10, we have the close of the 4 hour. As you can see, big bullish candle right there. We have this big close right there. That's basically like a big bullish candle. Like I said, we have 2 scenarios in mind. I will be more happy to see like a retracement to keep going higher. I'm going to find concepts in 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I'm just gonna delete this one. We have this imbalance on H1. We have this imbalance too on H1. So now, why I can short right here? Okay, there is a reason why we can short right here. Remember in the breakdowns, I talked about 3 potential scenarios, right? And I said, as soon as we can break the previous daily, we can break the 50% of the previous daily range and invert the imbalance. We're probably gonna have the second scenario. The second scenario will be something like this, a retracement, okay, to keep going higher. Okay, but we want that to happen before we arrive at the previous daily high. Okay, because as soon as we arrive at the previous daily high, I will not be interested in long. And if there is no confirmation to show, I will just close the stream, because I had 3 scenarios and none of them played out, and I will be fine with that. Okay, I will be fine with that. And I will play basketball, so I already know. I gotta find my shots back, bro. Gotta find them back. I lost them. All right, that's a new hourly open right there. That's a new hourly open. That's a new hourly open. I'm just waiting I'm just gonna be patient and watch price. Okay, there's no reason to rush. My opportunity will come eventually. Maybe not today, probably tomorrow. There's no reason to rush. All right. So what's happening right now, it's basically one of the things that we expected. So now we just have to wait and see where somebody that long right here making banks, somebody that long this market, and even somebody that long, I have no problem with that, but that's just not my stuff. You know, first 15 minutes I'm not trading, so that's my stuff. That's my golden rule. And then that was expected. Why? Because as you can see, this yellow box telling me that, all right, that might be a potential manipulation. Okay, just like this one I have right here. Okay, that might be a potential manipulation. So I can't ignore the fact that the market might set up a bullish price action today. That's why I put it there. Okay, so now we don't really have concept to short currently right now. So that's why if we can retrace first before we move to the upside, before we take the previous daily high, that would be a great idea. That would be a great idea. All right. And if we do the same thing as Friday, we just drop lower massively, and well, I just gonna call it a day, bro. Let me check the chart real quick. Conscious, yeah, like I told you, conscious. The settlement date is on March 20, so everything will be together probably on March 20. Okay, and if I choose this, everything gonna be together, probably be together on March 20th, because that's the settlement date. But like I usually say, you can change your contract since the second Friday of the month of the expiration date. Okay, which means we are in March and we know the contract will be expired in March. So the second Friday was last Friday, so you can just change it. My brokers, they change it automatically. So right now I see NQM, but NQ1 and ES1, they don't change it last Friday. They're probably gonna change it on the 20th. So you can wait, brother, and I don't think that's gonna create a problem. Okay. So we got this imbalance right here. Got this imbalance right there. H1. We got some imbalance on H1. One right here. This candle is not closed yet. We can't call that an imbalance yet. And we got this imbalance on M15 that create this reaction. Okay. And we have this imbalance above the New York Stock Exchange open. I'm waiting. All I need is just 2 or 3 good trades for the week and I'm done. And I'm done. And remember, I'm not a scalper, guys. Remember that I don't trade. I don't take trades here and there and just take entry and close 5 minutes. And again, I'm not saying it's bad. I just want you to remember that I'm not a scalper. Okay, because for some people that might be already enough for them to get TP. I don't trade like that. I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't trade like that. Okay. I have 2 scenarios for the day. I'm waiting for one of them to play out, and then that's it. Okay. And if you take this one, you got TP already. Congratulations. No hate on you. All right. We got the hourly open right here. The market dropped down. Okay, the first 5 minutes. That's the opening. We drop down. We move to the upside. Well, that might be a movement to the upside, but I'm not gonna take that either. That's my closest targets. I won't have like a decent risk to reward from here to there. Well, from here to there, I need a retracement. If I don't have it, well, I don't have it. That's too high for me to long right here. Close to the previous daily high, close to the sell area. Not enough risk to reward from here to there. So all right, 2 scenarios now is a retracement inside of a concept. Okay, a retracement will be fine to go higher, and we're gonna have to pay attention to these highs. All right, and if we can have the retracement and we're long, and the market just break this area and keep going higher and take these targets, that would be like the best move ever. Okay, that would be the best move ever, the best trade ever. But at the same time, if we just keep moving higher, now I'm gonna have to pay attention to how we're gonna behave right here. So the market might create a movement to the downside. All right, so now it's just these 2 scenarios. I don't see short right now because I don't really have, well, we have this imbalance on H1 on NQ. We probably have it too on ES, but the 2 imbalances that I wanted to see price respect to go lower, we disrespect them. So in order for me to short, we probably gonna have to come inside of this potential sell area. That's how I see it. Guys, I told you already that I'm not watching YM. I don't know, coming from Zil, I'm not watching YM. I'm not looking at YM right now. And that's my decision. these two are enough. All right. I made the most out of money on these two. So just focus on these two. From Phil Payne, McCoy. All right. So now we have the first. That's the first 30 minutes high on both of the indices right here. To consider manipulation right here to short, we gotta create some concept in them 15 minutes or 1 hour. Like I said, the two imbalances I wanted to see price respect, none of them got respected. So I don't see any selling opportunity right now. Rappelez-moi comme on dit, depuis coach là pas gen boni nap sell, depuis gen boni nap buy. Well, I probably not gonna use the beanie anymore. If we are paying attention, we can see that the market is building liquidity, but it's in lower time frames. When I say lower time frame, probably let's say M3 or probably M1, just lower time frames. Yeah, see, this liquidity right here. Manipulation here to short. I don't see it. It might happen. I don't really see it coming. A bearish movement for me will be a confirmation to wait for the retracement and then too long. That's how I will like interpret this. If we have a selling movement, that's how I will interpret it. Okay, that is something you have to understand. You don't have to catch every move. Okay, you don't have to catch every move. All right, and sometimes you're watching me and you're gonna be like, yo, this man is weird. Like this man is weird. Well, I agree. Sometimes I'm weird, like, because when I have one or two scenarios, if they don't happen, I don't take trades, and because I prioritize quality over quantity. Okay, I prioritize quality over quantity. 3 great quality trades is better than 20 trades, but 10 high quality, 5 average, and 5 low quality. You know, and I know you might think, I'm not gonna be profitable if I take 2 or 3 trades a week. That's not gonna be enough. I dare you to try. Just try. Okay, just try. Just try and call me back. Just try and call me back. I've never heard somebody that say, "Oh, I take less trade now and I'm not satisfied. I have no satisfaction of my like results." I've never heard that. Actually, most of my students that got paid out, the first thing they usually say, "Bro, I trade less and I make more money." And I'm like, yeah, that's the thing people can't accept, or it's hard for them to accept. Okay, so and it's a little bit hard now to, well, not convincing, but it's a little bit hard now to, for young people to believe that they don't need more trades. They actually need less trades. When I say less trades, it's not like you have the opportunity and you just close your eyes. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that instead of taking 20 trades and probably half of them were trash, why not waiting for like 5 great quality trades? I'm not saying you're not gonna have stop loss, okay, but you are going to limit the amount of mistakes you're gonna make. Okay. Who Mackenzie? I don't know if Mackenzie is here. He was saying that, well, he has like payouts after payouts, and he said, Coach, I literally trade less and less, probably two days a week. And I'm like, yeah, bro. Yeah, it looks like it's a magical thing, but it is, man. That's how it is, bro. That's how it is. And I remember I used to watch, there was a trader you probably know. His name is Elliot Hewitt. I used to watch him like years ago, and he used to say that, well, I took 5 trades for the month. I used to think, bro, 5 trades for the month, 7 trades for the month. But I didn't have the experience to understand that. Yeah, that is actually trading too. Okay. So now, of course, if you go watching Top Step TV or you go on TikTok, like people gonna take 5 trades in like 1 minute, but yeah. So Mackenzie said he's here. Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, you were saying that the other day. You make the most amount of money by taking less trade, and Olivier said the same thing. Many people like Peterson said the same thing. And yeah, so sometimes it's hard to believe it. It's hard to accept the logic behind it. But when you are doing it, like when you are like when you actually doing it, and you're gonna realize that, that's gonna be a mind-blowing stuff. Because it's gonna be, wait a minute, I just take like 3 trades this month. 3 trades this week, sorry. I just take 3 trades this week. What's going on? I've never made this amount of money. Well, first thing first, the fact that you wait for the quality trade, you're gonna be more patient to wait for the target to hit, or to wait for the profit, because you know that's a high quality. Because most of the time we have like pressure, it's because we know in fact that's not supposed to be a trade. Okay, that's not, well, that's not supposed to be a trade. Why I'm trading, that's why your hurt is going so fast. Because you're over leveraging. You shouldn't take that trade. You know it's not a high quality. You know you had no indication, you had no scenario that play out, but you still take it because you say, well, let's just try it. Let's just try it. You never know. You never know. You know. Let me try this. Okay. Somebody in the Discord made like $20,000 a day, and he said the same thing, guys. He literally said the same thing. And at some point I thought, whoa, what's going on? Everybody that's making payout telling me the same thing. Oh, okay, now they understand it. All right, job is done. Well, job is not done, because I got some few students that don't understand. When I'm doing my stream and 2-3 days pass by and I don't take any trades, they're gonna say, trading is boring. I'm not patient. I'm not this or that. But this is the game, bro. This is the game. Yeah, somebody made like $20,000 in 2 days, and he definitely told me the same thing. He said, Coach, I'm waiting for the low. I'm waiting for the manipulation in 1 hour. That's all I'm waiting. If I don't have it in 1 hour, I don't take the trade, and that's fine. That's the only thing he said. So so if you came here on Friday and I didn't take any trades, and you came here today and I didn't take any trades, I'm gonna say, I've got busy uncle. I don't have to watch him anymore because I'm watching somebody that's not taking trade live, and I want to see somebody that's gonna take trades, and I want to copy paste his trade and everything. So that's how most people think right now. That's why they go watch Top Step TV. That's why they go watch like scalpers and stuff like that, because they want to make money now. Most of the time, these people, they know what they're doing because they want you to be dependent on them, you know. But me, I talk about independence. Okay, if you still want me to take a trade, my job is not done yet. Look at Sarah. Look at anybody. Sarah, Mackenzie, Favensley, Ismail, Anne Bailey. Like, I got so many students. Evans D. I'm gonna forget some names, but I have a lot of people like Fabrice. I have so many people, right? They can trade on their own. They can trade on their own. Okay. So when you contact Lee Bright, that happened like yesterday or Saturday. Somebody said, well, I want to just trade with you and watching you taking trades and put them on my account because I don't want to do all of this stuff. I don't even reply to that person because what I'm going to say, bro. Don't take it bad, but I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't do these things. I insert, but type of person like that, it's going to be hard for me to teach them, you know? You always right, coach. I think this is gonna take time to someone have their own experience in the market to understand all what you're saying. Yeah. While you are trading, don't forget an important thing, guys. Jesus, the creator of the universe, is coming back soon. Repent, please. Thank you. L'Évangile de Dieu. Yeah, so it's gonna take some time to understand, but once you get it, you get it. And that's gonna that's gonna blow your mind. Trust me, that's gonna blow your mind. You're not gonna feel normal when you see that, all right, just 3 trades and I'm here. And I used to take 20 trades in one day and I've been losing money. And now I'm taking 3 in a week and I'm making payouts and it's trading. That's basically all it is. Well, eventually now, like, we have more scalpers, more people doing scalp. It might be a different story for a scalper because, like I usually say, I don't consider myself as a scalper because a scalper 5 minutes candle is enough for him or for her to make money, you know. And well, I understand the scalping, but I don't think that suit my personality. All right. My game plan is to take 1 trade. If we have TP, well, I might take a second one, but I don't think I'm gonna take a second one most of the time. That's the game plan. 1 trade, he hit TP, I'm done for the day. Now, if I take 1 trade, I have a stop loss, and if the market still respect the idea, I might try this idea again. Or if the market change the context, well, I'm gonna take a second trade with less risk because you're already down on the day. The purpose of your next trade is to basically recover from your losses, and of course, based on risk to reward, you're gonna have some profit. But and then if both of these trades got stopped, well, I'm probably done for the day and call it a day and come back tomorrow. Okay, what happened last week? So we have some break events, and last week was one of this week. I have like break even. I have break evens. I have stop losses. I have take profits. I have partials in 1 week. And that's not something that happen every week. It's not something that happen every week. All right, so now that was 10 in the morning. Okay, that was the opening of the new hour right there. And as you can see, we don't really do anything here. Okay, we don't really do anything here. The market stay in this area. We are building liquidity. Well, if you're watching it on higher time frame or mid time frame, you're probably not gonna see it. But the market is building liquidity like in lower time frames. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. If we could like leave some upside objective right here and drop lower and give me a nice retracement, and then I will attack the upside liquidity, that will be the best thing ever. Like I said, the retracement and to keep going higher, that would be the best thing ever. Okay, all right, that's 10:30 right now, and we're dropping lower. This is not something I do every day, but I'll watch this in 5 minutes. Or 3 minutes, sorry. Let's watch this in 3 minutes. Got a potential divergence right here, and then drop lower. That's 10:30. 10:30 will finally like 10:28, 10:30, right? That's 10:30 right here. Let's wait, bro. It's not always what you get, it's sometimes what you avoid to lose. Yeah. Yeah. It was a crazy one. We gain quad 9 border. Quad 9 will here is the thing. This downside target on NQ looks nice, but that's not the manipulation yet, in my opinion, that will take them. Okay, so which means if I want a long, I will probably long ES, because ES doesn't create the targets. Okay, if we're watching, let's say this low and this low right here, we can see ES create that manipulation. Okay, yeah, it's not the low of London or the low of Asia or something, but it's a manipulation based on the behavior of price action, and then we move to the upside right now. So that's why after the retracement, if I'm gonna long, that's gonna be ES, and if we keep moving higher, and the short will be on NQ to take these targets. So I'm just waiting, guys, just watching price. Like I said, this movement to the downside, it's basically to wait for retracement too long. And well, we remember what happened on Friday, but today is a new day. Okay, today is another day. Let's forget what happened here. I don't trust this manipulation to go lower. I mean, you talked about divergence on YM and stuff like. I don't really check YM right now, and I'm not gonna check it. So just waiting, man. Just waiting. Long on ES after manipulation of London low. Yeah, probably after two things, potential two things. After retracement inside of a concept, this imbalance or that imbalance, or after manipulation. Okay, or we might have a divergence, which means NQ might take these lows and ES stay above, and we still have movement to the higher, to the upside. Okay, so if we have the same thing on Friday, well, nothing I can do. I don't see this as the manipulation to just drop lower massively. And if we have it, we have it. And I have no problem with that. That's the thing. Of course, after an expansion, I expect retracement. That's how the market works. Expansion, retracement, expansion, retracement. Okay. So now we're having this expansion. I want to see a retracement to keep going higher. Yep. I'm going to support that idea. I'm going to support that idea until, let's say, both of the indices, let's say, break this low massively. Both of them just break it massively and come back. And well, if we just break it massively, probably gonna change the context. I would say, all right, that might be the first leg, and then let's see if we can find a second leg. But as of right now, I don't see this as manipulation to just drop lower massively. And this target, they might leave them for future reference. They might leave it for future reference. That's the thing on trading. You have to support what you see, not what other people think, not what other people see, not what the idea of other people or anything like that. What you see, that's what you have to trust. And right now, I see retracement on ES to go higher. That's what I trust. And if we move to the upside inside of this potential sell area, well, that might be the best area to short. And I would probably take the short on NQ2 to take these targets. That's how I see things right now. That's what I trust right now. And if I'm wrong, well, I'm wrong. And even if I'm wrong, the market will probably create one of the scenario we talked about coming inside of this area. But right now we are very far away. That's why that's not in my priority. Okay. Just my reading. Coach, can I say the previous daily low is manipulated? I explained that in the breakdowns. It's not the best thing ever. Well, it's not what I like to see as manipulation, but the fact that we just react massively and you can see your price, we can see your price upside retracement, okay, consolidation, upside. So that's why I'm talking about like retracement to go higher, because I can't ignore the reaction we have right here. It's not the best one. I don't really like it, to be honest, but I can't just pass on it. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm waiting. It's just Monday. I'm waiting. It's just Monday. I don't have to watch anything. There's the market opening under the low and move up. That's what I want to see too. I know you will say that today is a new day. Yeah, today is a new day. Today is a new day, isn't it? Yeah, today is a new day. As soon as the day is over, it is over. It's over. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to think about the next one. I was watching a basketball game the other night. I don't know if you know that. I'm a basketball fan. All right. I watch more basketball game than soccer game, and it's been like that for years and years. They am do pity. They be like 12 years old, 13 years old. I watch more basketball games than soccer game. And DeAndre Ayton, the guy that I told you that give me some headache like every time. Yeah, he missed something. He missed a ball, and LeBron James told him like, "Don't worry about what just happened. Focus on the next one." You know, he said, "Bro, don't worry about what just happened. Just focus to the next one. Focus to the next possession, the next ball, the next shoot, the next shot." You know, when Steph Curry missed a shot, he doesn't think about well, I just missed a shot. I'm not the best. I'm not a good player anymore. I'm not a great shooter anymore. No, pass him the ball. You're gonna take another one and another one and another one. So when the day is over, of course you can reflect. I'm not telling you to like just ignore what happened completely. Do not journaling and do not do anything. Just move on. That's not what I said. Like I said in the podcast yesterday, you gotta make some, you gotta journaling. Well, see what happened. Where did you miss out? Where did you like miss the movement of the market, the communication, or if you blew your account, what mistakes you've made, what happened currently, and then you move on. What you can't do anything about it anymore. I don't know why you use the word SMT, bro. Just use divergence. That will be fine. That will be fine. Well, like I said, if you trust the market right now to short, just take the short. But right now, I talked about the potential scenarios I see on these two assets right now on ES and NQ. So that's what I'm waiting for. Okay. And then after that, we gonna like find to see what the market does. Okay. Mhm. I don't even trust let me see what price is doing right here. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. the fact that the market closed below these two up candle the way it does it, it looks like we have some bearishness coming in the market. Simbat Castle Simbat Castle so in pour m'tal prendre target là. Well, guys, like I said, watch your plan. Whatever your plan says, just do it. I just telling you what I see the market doing in during the session. Let me just zoom out. Let me just zoom out real quick. Just zoom out real quick. H4. Just zoom out real quick. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you're free to short, but I'm not selling. Mm-hmm. I still see that. If we just drop lower, well, it happens. Well, that was the worst scenario. I'm not selling that, guys. I'm not selling it. I'm not selling it. I'm gonna say it. I'm not selling it. If you don't want to sell it, sell it. Okay. Yes, the market might drop lower and take these targets, but that was not what I have on my plan. Selling right here. And based on the, even though we invert all of these imbalances, even though we break the 50% of the previous daily range, even though we break the imbalances we have on H4 and H1 and still selling right here, I will probably have to wait for, let's say if we can create an imbalance on H1 to go lower, or imbalance on M15 probably. Well, we just create ones, but I'm not going to sell that. That's not my plan. That's not my plan. After that, if you want to, well, like I said, it's your plan, it's your trading career. Well, I do my streams to be more disciplined, and I've talked about that recently. Okay, doing the streams is a way like to, it's kind of an accountability system, you know. Okay, you gotta be accountable. You gotta show integrity to yourself, and that's not my plan. That's not my plan, and I don't care if the other 8 billion people in the world taking the short. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it, and I'm not gonna die. That's me. Welcome to my world. That's me. Naomi Nation low by sweet S and SL. Well, that's your problem, because I've been saying I want to see a retracement to buy. It's your problem, not mine, because I don't know why you're buying right here. I want to buy, but after a retracement. And you're buying here because you think the market is moving your way without you. You didn't buy because, well, you see something very nice and stuff. You're buying high right here. That's too high to buy right here. If price swept the New York Stock Exchange and reject, would you consider that manipulation? Probably, yeah. Yeah. Any rejection from a concept, like I said, I still see price. We might have something like this. Okay. NQ might drop lower and take this target, and ES might stay inside of this imbalance to create a divergence to go higher. Oh my god, sorry guys. To go higher. That's gonna be potentially the scenario that I'm waiting for right now. Okay. And after that, if we just drop lower, like I said, I will change my idea. I will change my mind only if we break both of the assets, break this low massively. Okay. If we break if both of the assets break this low right here massively, I might like, you know what? All right, that might be the high of the day, and we're probably gonna drop below the open to keep dropping lower. But as of right now, I'm not selling. And it's not ready to buy neither, but yeah. So that was the first 30 minutes low right here. That was the first 30 minutes low right here. As Mini said, if we can reject that with high conviction, that's probably gonna be the trade I've been waiting for. But I'm not selling, guys. That was not the plan. You had the breakdowns. I talked about it before the opening. I talked about it in the breakdowns with the French community. I never said I'm gonna sell right here. As soon as we break this imbalance on H1, we break this imbalance on H4, and then the 50% previous daily range, that's not a bearish right market as of right now. Right now, it's not a bearish market. And after that, yeah, we have this potential sell area. But selling here, that was not the plan. Today, I'm not gonna, you're not gonna lose another account. You've learned the lesson. You've learned your lesson, obviously, I guess. Let's see if we can have this IC candle. If we can have this IC candle and come back to move to the upside. Madame Warren, bon, déjà. We don't have 11 at 11 will be right here. 11 to 12 right here. We have the IC candle on both. That's M5. That's M5. We are 3 minutes before a new hourly open. If we want to go higher, I want to see conviction right now. I want to see conviction, especially in the next hourly open. That's going to be in 1 minute. We might drop lower first, but just to come back to a concept that was created and then to keep going higher. That's what I see. I might be wrong. Well, that's what I see. All right, so now in 1 hour we have a rejection candle. Right here we have this rejection, and yes, we allow price to drop down again in the week, and after that to go higher. That's what I see. So in 15 minutes we have a nice close. We have a nice close. If we can break above this candle, that will be another IC, but that will be in higher time frame, not M5. And we have this imbalance too on M15. I would like to see price inverted it in the first 30 minutes. Okay, which means 2 candles we should invert this one. If we cannot, that will show sign of lack of conviction to go higher. And that will be it. All right, so now I'm just gonna take the hourly open line and just put it right here. So hourly open right here. Give me a second, guys. I'm coming. Here I am. Bon, ta lè ou djou fè TP journal yo e pou di ou pa position tap tan nan ali san ou. Well, like I usually say, there is no such thing as like the market moves without you. It's just you probably were not present in the perfect time, perfect moment, or you didn't have your confirmation. It's one of them. Okay. Because the more you think, the more you keep saying the market like leaves you behind and such, you're gonna keep thinking that you're gonna keep doing the fear of missing out thing. Because next time you don't want price to move without you, and you're gonna take a trade without confirmation, without any confirmation. All right. So the first 5 minutes in this hour, we drop down first. Okay, as a new hourly open, we are currently reacting of this IC candle. Let's see if this IC candle can create this upside conviction. The fact that we drop down first, it's a great sign, like I usually say, because the market has to set the low first. Okay, before we move to the upside, so it's a great sign. We just create this IC candle right now. Don't really like it. The ink is more interesting than anything else. All right, so this candle just create a rejection in 1 hour, and then that's the new hourly candle, 11 in the morning. So we allowed price to come in this area. Okay, price can come back to this area in either on NQ. Price can come back to this area, but if we break this low, well, that's not the thing you want to see if you want to see a higher pricing. Okay, Well, basically NQ has these downside targets, but I might be wrong. I don't see these as the manipulation to go lower and take them. If that happens, well, it is what it is. Okay. It is what it is. No reaction. New hourly open. Trap lower. Wanna see a bullish conviction, bro. If we don't have it, well, the retracement is not over and my stream will be over. The retracement might not be over, but my stream will be over. My stream will be over. Just watch, bro. Just watch. Okay. I zoom out many times. H1, 15 minutes, hour, and I even zoom out on the daily. Alright. And I'm not changing my idea. Not changing my idea so far. That doesn't mean I can't be wrong. I'm just saying I'm not changing it right now. See. The hourly open doesn't show sign of strength yet. Thank you. Yeah, he just said he got TP and now he said, well, the trade I wanted to take, I miss it. So I might I probably don't have the best memory, but my memory is good. My memory is actually good. Let's see, bro. Let's see. It was about session and timing. Confirmation were present. But you had TP though. You said you had TP, right? You know what I will do? I will place a buy. I'll place a buy stop right here. I'll place a buy stop right here. If we can trade above this candle, I don't see price going lower anymore. I don't see price going lower after that. Let's wait and see. I'm not trying to predict price. All right. So now in M5, we can see we have this reaction and then we got this retracement. So now we're just waiting for price to create that. If we're gonna go higher, if we come back below this low, not gonna like it. All right. Not a financial advisor. Again, remember. But if I was if I were you, I will put a buy stop right here. This movement to the upside might be created with conviction. And if we never move to the upside, well, the IC candle never create a reaction. You're not gonna lose any money neither. Just being smart. Okay. Is that a no weekend though? Is that a no weekend though right here? In M5 right here. Yeah. Well, if we take this low, the stream is over. If we take this low, the stream is over, and the retracement might keep going lower and probably come back to the 50% or this imbalance. Because like I said, guys, I'm not shorting. I'm sorry. I mean, somebody might say you have these downside targets on NQ, and then why you want a long ES? Well, I agree with that, but can I trust this manipulation to go lower? Not yet. I can trust this manipulation right now to go lower. Okay. I would trust it if we were inside of this box right here. Okay. So I hope you understand why I want to see ES higher than see it lower right now. And that was the plan. That was one of the scenario I shared to you in the breakdowns, and one of the scenario I talked about in the breakdowns, either in the French community, and we talked about it before the session. Okay, so as soon as price can break the 50%, invert this imbalance, move to the upside. Actually, if we're talking about concepts in higher time frame, we can even say that's a mitigation, bro. We move to the downside and then we react from a previous daily low. We can even say that's a mitigation in 4 hours. Well, I don't consider these time frames, but I don't consider these type of concepts in this higher time frame, basically. But somebody can say, well, that's a mitigation, bro. Because I consider that a manipulation, and then I want to see price move higher. So there is no reason for me right now to sell. All right. It was a part of the trade, a little part, some point, 100 points, but I'm satisfied. One thing with trading is like going to the gym. Trading is like going to the gym. You can't lie to yourself. I'm not saying you're lying. I'm not saying you can't lie to yourself. Somebody's going to the gym, you just say, you go to the gym, bro. Or sis. That's not perfect. That's what I'm talking about. It's not perfect right now. Man, that's perfect. That's not perfect. That's NQ. Well, ES. Well, ES is tripping right now. ES is tripping. But NQ is a little bit above the open. NQ is a little bit above the open, but which one is stronger? NQ is stronger. Well, that's probably why, based on the percentage, NQ is stronger. But I like that. Now let's see if the next 15 minutes can invert that on NQ. even though my priority too long is yes. All right. Show me that you were just late and you want to keep going higher, and that'll be it. So we have the first 15 minutes in the new hour. Still a rejection candle. We still got that's a rejection candle. Well, the market reject this imbalance we had on M5. We reject again the IC candle we had, and we break above it. We close above it right now. Still not enough, bro. Still not enough. And we have we have 30 minutes. We have at 10:30 the market should be like, well, I'm not gonna use the word should, but we expect price to at least at 10:30 be above the hourly open. If we can't do that, the hourly candle might not be bullish. That's how I see things. That's how I use timing to. That's how I align timing with my confirmations based on the hourly open. If we're gonna be bearish, but if we're gonna be bullish at 10:30, I have to already know that most of the time, because sometimes the market just gonna create anything like consolidations, you know. So at 10:30, I have to see price react to telling me, hey boy, I'm gonna respect this imbalance and this IC to go higher. At 10:30, if we still below, there is a high percentage that the market create another manipulation and move higher. Let's wait and see, bro. Well, NQ is stronger. That's why NQ NQ like doing this before ES, based on the, not based on divergence, but based on the percentage, because NQ is up 1.20 something, 1.50 right now. You can see it right here, up 1.50, and then ES is up 1.25. Well, not too much, but still make a difference. So the stronger asset will want to go higher with more conviction or better conviction than the other asset. So it's 10, 8, it's 11, 18. Just watch. Mais c'est pas. Ok. So second close above the open on NQ, which is a good sign, but the priority is yes. The priority to long is yes. So we are at 9,000 subscribers. Close to 10, but you don't want to share it. You don't want to like. So we can't even have 100 likes. I think it's because most people, like, they are haters probably, or they are watching me but they don't like me. You're buying me from that way, or somehow you don't like. Somehow you don't like. You don't like me. No, you're not wrong, Johnny. Johnny, you're not wrong. But now, Pupiga Sirio, you want to see price close above the hourly open at or before 10:30. You're not wrong. Now you want to see price close above the hourly open at and before 10:30. And if we have a nice break, I think if your entry is down there, you probably have enough time to eventually if we have a nice break, can I say somebody to go break even? Now, if your entry is here, your first expansion is that. Your first expansion will be that expansion. So can't go break even yet, but still can. If your entry is there, you don't want to see price come below the hourly open anymore, and especially this low, for example. You don't want to see price come there. Well, you can put your stop right here. Not basically in profits, but you want to see price set the hourly low right here. So you can put your stop right here. After the close, if we close like with conviction, which means if we have a big bullish candle, something like this right here, and if we can like just, if we can do it like one stone, two birds, and just this 15 minutes candle close above the hourly open and create that inversion at the same time, that will be perfect. And your target, your first target should be this high, because that's a, not the best one, but that's a target. 6,728. In 24, we got 6 more minutes before 10:30. Let's see, bro. One stone, two birds. Sorry, le gatekeeping. Moun la junior bagay li pa. Li reme li va lot moun kone. Yeah. Yeah, some people they like to do this. They like to gatekeeping. Well, you have a nice close on M5. Okay. We are very close to the 10:30 mark. It's 10:25 right now. One more candle. Well, that's gonna be the last candle. If this candle create that inversion and you have a big movement to the upside, that's your break even. That will be your break even. That will be your break even. But market la gan moun. Nap tan ni. And li normal pour NQL inverted first, because NQ is a stronger 1.60, 1.34. I feel like écran plus sur NQ que sur IS. On va faire ça. Ouais. No pressure. We got the hourly open in our favor. Okay. You got your hourly open in your favor right now. Okay. You got it in your favor. The market dropped down first. That's what I usually say. If I want to go higher, I want to see price drop down first. Okay. And especially this massive drop, I like to see them when I'm high. When I want to go bullish, this massive drop, I like to see them in the new hourly open, especially in the first 5 minutes. Okay. And then, well, not the best reaction right here. One candle could have been better, but we have 3 candle create the reaction right here. And then we move to the upside. And in 3 minutes, we're going to have the close of the 5 minutes candle, the close of the 15 minutes candle. And that will be a great sign of bullishness. Well, the market will show sign of strength. If we can break above this candle, break above this imbalance on all of the time frames. Well, I don't watch 30 minutes. Okay. I don't watch 30 minutes. I don't do that, but it's a great time frame. Okay. When I say it's a great time frame, it's because I know some great traders that are using the 30 minutes. Yeah, I know some great traders, good traders. They are using the 30 minutes. But most of the time, we're gonna see me working with the daily, weekly, sometimes monthly too. Mid time frame, that's gonna be 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, and lower time frame 5 minutes, sometimes 1 minute, sometimes, not every time. Okay. And I don't go to M5 and M1 if I don't understand what I see in higher time frame. Okay. M5 and M1, I drop down when I already understand where I'm at in the higher time frame, what I'm waiting for. And now we can drop to lower time frame to see what happened, if we can have some nice and crispy entry. Okay. So like I said, je nourris that's a break even. Just the fact that we can close above, it's a break even. And 1030, if we can stay above the hourly open still, it's a break even. And if your entry is there, you said the entry is in this imbalance, so a break even. Or if you still wanna leave some door open, room for error, I will put it from below this low, because 1030, that should be the hourly low. That's how I see it. $10.30 almost. That's an icy candle too, though. It's just like we having it after the reaction, after the manipulation, but that can consider as icy candle too. This down candle in 5 minutes. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we have the close of the 15 minutes candle. It is in our favor, but the only thing, we don't have the inversion yet. Okay, that's a break even. Okay, because we close above the hourly open, it's 10:30. That's a break even. And now what you want to see is the next 30 minutes. You want to see price expand to your target. Okay, that's what you want to see. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm saying 11:30, guys, come on. I think you understand, right? I think you understand what I mean. Like 11:30. Yeah, 11:30. I'm not on Central Time, I'm on Eastern Time, so I have the same time as 80. So I was saying 11:30. I mean in 11:30 this whole time, but I keep saying 10:30. But I think you got it. So it's half of the hour right now. you want to see this low maintained for the hourly candle to keep going higher. Okay. And yeah. YM trash. I was about to say that I well, I've back tested for the entire weekend, guys. I was a little bit silent during the weekend. I spent my entire weekend back testing, and I can't even trust divergence with YM because I back tested YM too. Okay. I think, like I said in the beginning of the year, the best thing to do is analyzing YM independently, and I'm not gonna say to forget like completely, but don't rely too much on the correlation they have with these two assets. Okay. That's what I will do if I wanted to keep trading YM. I will I will like analyzing it independently and like almost, I'm not gonna say 100%, but almost forget if it has correlation with NQ and ES, because why I'm gonna create so much noise with these two assets. In comparison with these two assets, it's gonna create so much noise. Okay. Sometimes these two assets will be completely different too. Okay. Well, one times, two times a year. But most of the time the correlation will be like at 90 something percent. The 5 or 10% will be divergences. Coach, I love how you refresh perspective every 15 minutes and zoom out, not get caught married to your bias. Very good real-time recalibration. Thank you, Shini. Thank you. I don't know if it's Shini or Shiny Mini. um Thank you. I really appreciate that. And it's something I always suggest people to do. Okay. Don't stuck in M5 and M1 for too long, you know. Every like 30 minutes or 1 hour, zoom out a little bit to see if you can still consider the same idea, if you can still consider the same perspective, the same scenario, because sometimes things change, but the fact that you stay too long on lower time frame, you can't even see that, you know. So every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, we make a refresh. Okay, zoom out. Okay, and that's exactly what I said in the podcast. And it's not just trading, everything in life. Sometimes you're taking some like people's actions personal, you know. Something happened and you take it personal, but if you can just zoom out a little bit, you will see things differently. Okay, you will see things differently. The examples that I took, let's say for example, like you say hi to somebody and the person like does not show sign of any answer, like no answer, no response at all. Well, you're gonna take it personal and you're gonna feel bad. Well, I say hi to you, especially women, they are like that. Well, m'dou bonjour par répondre. And then, but if you zoom out a little bit, bro, the person might just got a call from the hospital telling that probably his mom, his dad passed away. And when you say hi, she or he might heard your hi, but he's not in a good state right now to answer to you. Or probably this person was focusing on something, you know. And but if you zoom out a little bit, you're gonna see things differently. Okay. Other examples that I gave to you recently, I went to the DMV, that was the DMV, and then I clock in and I put my information. I was waiting, and after that I see a chair and I just move and sit on the chair. And we there were like two white old women. As soon as I sit down, they move from the chairs, and Mrs. Libright telling me, well, we just come here and these people leave out and they racist and sometimes some things like that. And I'm like, you know what? I wanted this chair. I wanted these chairs to put my stuff because I have like papers, I have my phones, I have pens, I have a lot of things on me. Let me just use this chair, and I lay down on the chair. And after that, I said, you never know. They probably call her to for something, somebody might call her, and she had to like leave the space to take a phone call, or probably she might have a problem. Well, yes, I understand she might be racist too, but I don't give a damn. Racist or not, that's not my problem. Right now I have 3 chairs on my own, and I can use 3 chairs instead of one. That's how I see it. I just mouth a little bit. I could just saying, well, these people, they are racist, I just sit down and she wakes up, bro. I don't give a damn. If they stayed here, I would like use 1 chair, but they left. I have 3 chairs now, and I don't care, bro. And I said, well, somebody probably called her, and she might have a problem because she was there for like hours, and like not hours, but 30 minutes at least, and she just left the space. I don't know. Okay, it's the same thing in the market. If you stay too long in 1 minute and 5 minutes, you're gonna lose. You're probably gonna lose the frame, the entire frame, the big frame. You have to zoom out a little bit every 15 minutes to 1 hour. Okay, let's say for example, somebody just said he bought right here. So why you are buying here? There's no reason to buy here. Not because I show you the hourly open, I said you have to buy high. At this point, the market was at the highest price of the day. From the opening, that was the highest. But why are you buying here? You're buying because you stay in 1 minute too long, and you think you're gonna miss out if you don't take the trade. But me personally, I don't care. And when I say I don't care, I really don't care, bro. I don't care if I miss a trade, if I got stop loss, because I have no connection with a trade. Sometimes you are too connected with your position. Okay, that happens to me. That I'm trading, I'm playing basketball. I went outside and play basketball, went to the YMCA and play basketball, and left the trade opens. I have some alert. If my phone telling me something, I will just take X or Y or Z decision, but I'm not attached to the trade. Okay, so every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, zoom out a little bit. Okay, you're gonna see things differently. Okay, you're forcing price to go higher. You're trying to take a long right here, but you could have just waited for the like inversion, for the retracement to go higher after that. Okay, and every 15 minutes, 5 minutes, refresh your brain and trying to remember what you had as the plan of the day, as what was your plan for the day. Okay, you might see that every 5 minutes I said that was the first scenario, that was the second scenario, that was the third scenario. Well, I'm not selling. All right, I repeat it again. That was the first scenario. Well, the market just invert everything I had. That's the second scenario. The third scenario will be right here. So I'm not selling right here. It's not easy when you just started. It's not gonna be easy, and no one said it should be easy neither. No one said that. Okay, I don't know who said that to you. Shouldn't be easy, bro. Okay, so now we have another rejection candle. Let me just watch price like that. We had this rejection candle. Like I said, when you have this type of rejection candles, you allowed price to drop down to the week. Okay, the market basically can come back to the week. Okay, and anytime we have a rejection, most of the time before we move to the direction, you should allow price to come back to the week. Same thing right here. Okay, price come back to the week before we move to the downside. And every time we have a rejection candle, or most of the time, let's see right here, the market come back to the week. So you allowed price to drop a little bit higher, I mean to move higher first before we have this movement to the downside. But here's the trick: after this candle, the next hourly candle should be bullish. Okay, after this rejection candle, the next hourly candle basically should be a bullish candle. And if it's a bearish candle, or if we have an inside candle, for example, well, you're probably gonna have to go break even. You're probably gonna have to go break even or do something. All right, because after this rejection candle, you see how like NQ is heavily bullish. That's what I expect on ES2. That's what you want to see on ES. And why not break this candle, break these highs, and keep going higher? Okay, because if we can create it, the market might drop down again, create another manipulation. That's when you see things like this, for example. Okay, you have big rejection. Well, you don't have a bearish candle after that, so the market can come back to these highs. And I said that in the stream on Friday. Okay, I said, well, I see price coming up at this high. That was the reason. That was the reason why. Okay, I remember I had it on 15 minutes. Let me check. Yeah, we had it on 15 minutes. So basically we have this rejection. Well, I was not bearish that day, I'm not gonna lie to you, but the fact that after this reaction, the market can basically create a bearish candle. So I expect price to move higher again and create another manipulation. Well, same thing right here. So just so you can have an idea of what I'm talking about. So it's almost 12 and I'm gonna close the stream. I'm gonna close the stream at 45, and we still got 6,728 right here. We're still waiting for price to cross above the 15 minutes imbalance. Okay, and that's gonna be the first target, and 6,741.50 might be the second target. That will be inside of a potential sell area. And after that, you know me, you know what I mean? After that, after the market launched the upside, inside of this potential sell area, I will pay attention to see how price behaves and see if we can have a sell opportunity. But if we already got TP, well, I will probably doing something else for the day. I'm not gonna keep watching the market 24/7. All right, so it was a pleasure to be here with you guys. Hopefully you understood everything. C'est pas break M15 là, m'a clôturé position coach. I don't want you to close your trade. Well, I'm not gonna say what you should do or what you shouldn't do, right? But I will basically like put the trade at break even and wait to see, because the idea is still valid. You know, if the idea is still valid, I wouldn't like put myself at break even. But well, if you close it too, that will not be a bad decision. Like I said, it's your plan. I can't tell you exactly what to do. All right, it's your plan. You back tested it, you know what you should do. But basically we see NQ invert this imbalance, but not really inverted it, and it's not what I want to see, bro. It's not what I like to see. But anyways, that will be it for today, guys. Okay, second scenario played out. Okay, the market break everything we had the retracement, and we manipulate the first 30 minutes low, and then we move higher. So now it's just a matter of time to see whether or not we're gonna keep moving higher and take the first target, and why not take the second target and distribute it, create a distribution inside of this potential sell area. And this sell area might create the third scenario we talked in the breakdowns. So it was a pleasure. See you tomorrow, same time, 9:30. At 8:30 we're gonna have the breakdowns on my French channel, and at 9:30 we're gonna be here for the New York Stock Exchange. See you.